When it comes to understanding the forces that drive human behavior, few books dive as deep as The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. In this final part of our series, we explore laws 13 to 18, which focus on practical ways to navigate the complexities of human interactions. Whether it's rising above group pressures, strengthening your sense of purpose, or recognizing hidden power dynamics, these laws are designed to help you see the world more clearly and act with greater confidence. Don't worry if you haven't watched the previous videos. These lessons stand on their own and will give you practical tools for navigating relationships and leadership in a whole new way. Let's get started. Law 13. Advance with a sense of purpose. The Law of Aimlessness. Humans, unlike animals, rely on conscious decisions to guide them through life. Without a clear sense of purpose, we often drift, pulled in different directions by moods, opinions, and external pressures. This aimlessness leads to frustration and a feeling of disconnection from our true selves. We may find ourselves asking, "How did I end up here?" To avoid this fate, we must discover our true calling, something that provides direction and meaning in our lives. A perfect example of this is Martin Luther King Jr. King grew up in a comfortable environment with his father, a pastor, who had high expectations for him to follow in his footsteps. However, King realized his true calling was broader than the pulpit. It was in the civil rights movement. Despite having the option to lead a more comfortable life, King felt a deep pull toward his mission for justice. This sense of purpose became the driving force of his life, helping him endure the many challenges, threats, and setbacks he faced. Even in moments of doubt, King found clarity in his mission. For example, as the leader of the Montgomery bus boycott, he faced opposition and threats, including a bombing at his home. His purpose gave him the strength to persist, turning failures into lessons that made him stronger. To discover your purpose, Greene suggests identifying your natural inclinations, surrounding yourself with purposeful people, and creating smaller goals that lead to your larger mission. In a world full of distractions, a strong sense of purpose will guide you, helping you overcome challenges and achieve lasting success. Law 14. Resist the downward pull of the group. The Law of Conformity. Humans naturally conform in group settings, unconsciously mimicking others' behavior, beliefs, and emotions. While this helps us fit in, it can lead to a loss of individuality and critical thinking. Greene warns that in a group, we often take irrational risks, act on group emotions, and gradually lose our sense of self. This social personality can dominate, leaving us more concerned with fitting in than thinking for ourselves. The key to resisting this pull is self-awareness. Recognize how you change in groups and develop what Greene calls group intelligence. This means observing group dynamics, understanding the influence of emotions like fear or excitement, and maintaining your independence. Instead of simply going along, question group decisions and offer rational alternatives, earning respect through your thoughtful contributions rather than blind conformity. Additionally, understand that the need for status and belonging drives many to conform. Embrace these needs by excelling in your work and steering the group in positive directions, but always maintain your own values and critical thinking. By staying calm when others are anxious or impulsive, you can influence the group subtly, leading with reason. Ultimately, the goal is to fit into groups strategically without losing your individuality. By staying grounded, independent, and observant, you'll rise above groupthink, leading from within while keeping your true self intact. Law 15. Make them want to follow you. the law of fickleness. People are naturally fickle. One day, they may admire you. The next, they could lose interest or even turn against you. To maintain loyalty, you must establish a sense of authority. But here's the catch. Authority isn't something you achieve once and rest on. It's a dynamic, ongoing process. You need to constantly prove yourself and create an aura of strength, legitimacy, and fairness. Leadership is a delicate balance. Although people want to be led, they also want to feel free and secure without making sacrifices. If you present yourself as their equal or friend, they may begin to doubt your strength and view you with hidden contempt. Authority comes from projecting confidence, decisiveness, and demonstrating that you serve the group's interests. The entitlement curse is a dangerous trap for leaders. Feeling that people owe you loyalty or respect simply because of your position leads to laziness and complacency. A true leader must cultivate empathy, but never become overly pliant to the group's desires. The key is to project strength and vision while continuously earning respect through hard work, self-discipline, and high standards. To inspire loyalty, develop a clear vision for the future. Demonstrate that you are working for the greater good and lead by example. Whether by setting the highest standards for yourself or making personal sacrifices for the group, your followers will remain loyal if they see you as indispensable and in control. Authority is not about being liked. It's about creating lasting influence and being a leader people want to follow. Law 16. See the hostility behind the friendly facade, the law of aggression. Not all aggression is obvious. In fact, much of it is hidden behind friendly smiles and polite behavior. Sophisticated aggressors use indirect, calculated forms of aggression, relying on subtle intimidation, manipulation, and psychological tactics to wear down their opponents. Unlike primitive aggressors who display overt hostility, these individuals mask their true intentions behind charm, politeness, or rationality. They exploit the fact that most people dislike confrontation, using this to gain power and control. A historical example of this is John D. Rockefeller. While Rockefeller appeared calm and cooperative, he strategically manipulated his competitors. He would offer small oil refinery owners deals that seemed mutually beneficial, but in reality, he had already created market conditions that guaranteed their failure if they refused. His rivals believed they were making free choices, but Rockefeller's subtle aggression left them no real alternative. His calm demeanor masked his ruthless tactics, allowing him to dominate his competitors without direct confrontation. To defend against such sophisticated aggressors, it's crucial to remain calm and avoid reacting emotionally. Emotions can cloud your judgment, making you more vulnerable to their manipulation. Instead, focus on understanding their true motivations and vulnerabilities. By analyzing their tactics, you can avoid being drawn into their games. Rather than confronting them head-on, stay strategic and watch for moments when their hidden aggression reveals itself. In relationships, business, and social interactions, recognizing the signs of subtle aggression gives you a strategic advantage, allowing you to protect yourself and turn their tactics against them. Law 17. Seize the historical moment, the law of generational myopia. Each of us is shaped by the generation we are born into. Your generation defines your worldview, values, and ambitions more than you might realize. Generations often seek to separate themselves from the past and establish new ideals, but they also fall into patterns of reaction where each generation either rejects or embraces aspects of the previous one. To truly succeed, you must understand the deep influence of your generation and the times you live in, then go beyond it. The author cites King Louis XVI of France as an example. Ascending to the throne in 1774, he represented a new generation with the potential for reform. However, he failed to recognize the significant changes in France, including the rise of the middle class and increasing unrest. Clinging to absolute monarchy and a rigid social hierarchy, Louis neglected the growing demands for representation and reform. Instead of embracing the Enlightenment's emerging ideas of liberty and equality, he adopted a defensive stance, believing that preserving the status quo would maintain his power. This refusal to adapt alienated the populace and fueled widespread discontent, ultimately leading to the French Revolution and his downfall. To avoid this, you must cultivate generational awareness, an understanding of both your generation's spirit and the larger historical patterns that shape society. Recognize how collective moods and social trends shift and be ready to capitalize on them. Heroes and cultural icons often signal the values your generation secretly desires. By analyzing these, you can position yourself ahead of the curve, setting trends rather than following them. Push against outdated ideas, adapt to current trends, and even create new social configurations that resonate with your generation. Success comes from sensing the subtle shifts in the collective mood and using them to your advantage. This allows you to stay ahead of change rather than being overwhelmed by it. Law 18. Meditate on our common mortality. The law of death denial. Most people spend their lives avoiding the thought of death, but rather than denying it, we should keep the reality of death in mind. Understanding how short life is gives us urgency to focus on what truly matters. By confronting death, we gain perspective, allowing us to manage life's challenges with a sense of proportion, knowing that many of our worries are trivial compared to the inevitability of mortality. Flannery O'Connor, the famous American author, offers a powerful example. Diagnosed with lupus at 25 and told her life would be shortened, O'Connor embraced her illness and focused intensely on her writing. Instead of seeing her condition as a limitation, she used it to sharpen her creativity and deepen her work. O'Connor's proximity to death intensified her writing and gave it a depth that resonates to this day. Her awareness of her limited time didn't make her rush. It made her more mindful. For her, death wasn't something to fear, but a reminder to live fully, with purpose. Her writing reflects this, revealing deep insights into human nature and the complexity of life. Reflecting on death also helps break the illusion of superiority that separates us from others. Death is the great equalizer connecting us all. Recognizing this fosters empathy and a deeper connection with others. The paradox is that contemplating death makes us feel more alive, heightening our awareness of every moment. By making death a familiar presence in our thoughts, we stop delaying our dreams. We act with purpose, focusing on what truly matters. Meditating on mortality helps us live a more meaningful and connected life with greater intent. So there you have it, Laws 13 to 18 of the Laws of Human Nature. These final laws show us the importance of having a clear sense of purpose, the value of independent thinking, the hidden forms of aggression, and the profound wisdom that comes from confronting our own mortality. By applying these principles, we can better understand ourselves and those around us, giving us the tools to navigate life with greater wisdom and clarity. If you've enjoyed this exploration of human nature, be sure to subscribe so you can join us as we explore transformative ideas that inspire growth, learning, and success in all areas of life. And if there's a topic or book you'd like us to explore, feel free to leave a comment below. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.